Have you ever looked in the mirror in the morning and noticed that more dark spots have appeared on your face? Have you felt uncomfortable showing your hands because of those brown marks on the back? Has something similar happened to you? Does frustration invade you? I understand you perfectly. My name is Carl Yang, I am a dermatologist and I have been dedicated to this profession for more than 50 years. Throughout my career, I have treated tens of thousands of patients. Today I want to give you an important promise: don't give up. It will only take you 3 minutes to get rid of what many call the fungi from beyond, also known as seborrheic keratosis. I totally understand how you feel when you look in the mirror and see those dark spots that make you sigh. You've struggled enough. I know how much you've tried to eliminate them, from pharmacy depigmentation creams to high-cost products and even home remedies like lemon juice. But it didn't work, right? You only ended up spending money and feeling even more frustrated. But that ended today. You only need to pay attention for 3 minutes. One of my patients, Mrs. Carly Yen, managed to reduce her keratosis of more than 20 years by half in just 3 weeks by applying this method. And the best thing, he did it without going to the hospital, only from the comfort of his home. Before she felt uncomfortable going out and preferred to stay inside, but now she enjoys walks with her friends and feels much more fulfilled. Seborrheic keratosis is a condition that develops due to excess melanin in the skin. In the medical field, it is known as seborrhea. If left untreated, spots can grow in size and become darker, making even laser less effective at removing them over time. This condition is particularly common in those who have worked outdoors for long periods or who have been constantly exposed to the sun. When we were younger, we didn't usually worry about protecting our skin from the sun, right? Now, that exposure is reflected in these brands. They usually begin to appear after the age of 40. At first they are tiny, but over time they get larger and darker. Sometimes they appear as small sets of light spots, as if they have scattered dust. Other times, as large spots the size of a coin. The spots usually appear mainly on the face, hands, arms, neck and chest, which are the areas most exposed to the sun. One of my patients, Mrs. Penny Smith, had so many spots on her face that she became depressed. She was even embarrassed to take photos at her granddaughter's wedding. However, with the treatment I recommended, he began to notice improvements in just 3 days. A month later, she was already comfortable taking photos. Today, he keeps that photo in his wallet and shows it to everyone with great pride. You may also be able to look 10 years younger. Additionally, excessive appearance of spots could indicate that your liver function is not at its best, which could raise concerns about your overall health. According to what I have observed, people with liver or digestive difficulties tend to have more keratosis. For this reason, treating spots is not just a matter of appearance, but also a concern related to well-being. In dermatological offices, removing a stain can cost between $50 and $100. If you have 10 on your face, the total would be between $500 and $1,000. And just one session is not enough, usually 3 to 5 treatments are required. Therefore, the total cost would range between $1,500 and $5,000. With our pension, that represents a huge financial burden. If you watch this video until the end, you can avoid spending all that money. Don't continue wasting your money on clinics. Today I am going to show you the most effective method to eliminate keratosis, which I discovered after 50 years of experience. This method is so easy to follow that anyone can do it. It doesn't require a lot of money and you can use ingredients you already have at home. The first trick is a honey and lemon mask. My patient, Ms. Kim Ok-soon, managed to reduce her keratosis by half in just 3 weeks using this treatment. Even I, as a dermatologist, was surprised. She used to cover her face with a big hat because of the spots, but now she feels confident going out. Why are lemon and honey so effective? Lemon contains vitamin C and citric acid, which help eliminate melanin accumulated in spots. For its part, honey acts as a natural moisturizer, preventing the skin from drying out. It also has antibacterial properties, which helps keep the skin in good condition. Preparing a lemon and honey mask is very simple. Squeeze half a lemon to obtain its juice. Combine it with a tablespoon of honey. Add a little flour until you get a paste. Apply this mixture on dark spots, seborrheic keratosis, and leave it on for 15 minutes. Afterwards, rinse with warm water. That easy. It is not necessary to do it daily, 2 or 3 times a week will be enough. I will share a little tip with you. The ideal is to use fresh lemons. The ones you just bought are much more effective than the ones that have been stored in the refrigerator for a long time. Make sure you use pure honey, without sugar additives. Local honey that you find in neighborhood markets or stores is the most recommended option. In this way, the benefits are multiplied. When you apply it for the first time, you may notice a slight burning sensation. It's completely normal, don't be alarmed. However, if you feel that it burns a lot, rinse immediately and drink plenty of water. Next time, try using a little less lemon juice. There is something crucial to remember: after applying lemon on your skin, it is essential to use sunscreen. If you don't, the stains could get worse. If you have the option, do this treatment at night and don't forget to put on sunscreen the next day before going out. Don't let it go. At first, Grandpa Lester Thompson wasn't convinced that could work. I thought something so simple would have no effect. However, on the 3rd day he began to notice some improvements, and after 2 months, the spots on his skin had diminished considerably. Now he loves taking photos with his grandson. She used to avoid cameras, but lately she even takes selfies with him. The second trick is a mung bean mask, green beans, a recipe inherited from my grandmother. Since ancient times, mung has been recognized as beneficial for beauty. This contains a substance called saponin, which helps eliminate impurities from the skin and clear it. My mother used this treatment and reached the age of 85 without any blemishes on her skin. All the women in the neighborhood admired her for it. Preparing it is very simple. You only need 3 tablespoons of mung bean powder, 2 tablespoons of milk and 1 tablespoon of honey. Mix well until it forms a thick paste and apply it to the stains. After 15 minutes, rinse with water. It's that simple. It is recommended to apply it 2 or 3 times a week. A useful tip: if you can't find mung bean powder, you can easily find it in pharmacies or supermarkets. Even in local stores it is usually available. Its price is around $5,000 per package, so it is not expensive. Another option is to buy the beans and grind them yourself in a blender to obtain a fresher powder. If you warm the milk slightly before adding the powder, it will dissolve more effectively. Oh, and the fundamental thing: perseverance. Don't get frustrated if you don't notice any differences in the first few days. These stains did not appear overnight, therefore, making them disappear will also require patience. If you apply these remedies 3 times a week regularly, within a month you will start to notice visible results. You will be amazed to see how your skin looks more and more different when reflected in the mirror. Before continuing, remember to like if you are enjoying the video, and subscribe to the channel to receive the best advice on how to attract abundance and prosperity into your life. Let's move on. Now I am going to reveal the 3rd secret to you, and this one is truly unique. You can get rid of stains using a very common fruit that you probably already have at home. It is a homemade solution that does not involve any extra expense. So don't ignore it. This 3rd tip, which I absolutely recommend, consists of massaging with banana peels. After 5 decades of experience, I can say that it is the most effective remedy I have ever tried. Why exactly the banana? Because the inner side of its shell, that white part, is full of vitamins A, B, C and E, which help to reduce the pigmentation of spots. It also has citric acid and salicylic acid, components that help gently remove dead skin cells. The method is quite simple: take a banana, savor its taste, and save the peel. Use the white part inside to gently rub the stains in circular motions for about 10 minutes. Avoid applying too much pressure. Let it sit for another 15 minutes and finally rinse with water. That easy. Do it every night after washing your face. One of my patients, Mr. Bob Johnson, a rather incredulous grandfather, was very hesitant at first. How could you imagine that a simple banana peel could fade stains? However, his daughter managed to persuade him to try it, and in just 3 weeks he noticed a clear improvement in the appearance of his skin. Since then, he has incorporated it into his daily routine. He eats a banana and uses the peel to massage himself while watching television, without requiring any effort. The white area found inside the banana skin contains a large amount of vitamins and citric acid, which makes it a natural ally to reduce blemishes on the skin. Shall I share a secret with you? Bananas work best when they are not fully ripe. It is advisable that its peel shows some dark spots. If they are very green, their effect diminishes, and if they are overripe and have a brown tone, they are not as beneficial either. One more tip: use the banana peel only once. If you use it again, it won't work the same. It is also important that, when finished, you rinse your skin well with water, otherwise, you may end up with a sticky feeling. The best of all, this trick does not involve any expense. You are taking advantage of something you would normally throw away. It is enough to eat 1 banana a day to give excellent care to your skin. It is a fruit full of beneficial properties, ideal for general well-being, helps regulate intestinal transit and even helps reduce seborrheic keratosis, also known as dry warts. It's like getting 3 benefits in one. Grandma Charlie Wong managed to almost completely reduce the warts on the back of her hands in just 3 weeks using this method. Her grandchildren complimented her by telling her that her hands looked beautiful. Can you imagine how happy he felt? She said that she no longer feels uncomfortable going out holding hands with her grandchildren. Think about it, you can do it too. I'm going to reveal another valuable secret to you. If after massaging the skin with the banana peel you apply a small amount of olive oil, the result is enhanced. This oil allows the beneficial nutrients of the banana to penetrate the skin more effectively. It is a technique that we do not even share in my medical consultation. I discovered it throughout my 5 decades of professional career. What if you are allergic to banana? Don't worry. You can achieve a similar result using pineapple peel. The inner part of this peel contains enzymes that can be very useful in treating keratosis. However, use caution as pineapple has a high level of acidity and could cause irritation to sensitive skin. Start by applying it for just 5 minutes. Now I want to talk to you about the fundamentals of keratosis care, keeping the skin well hydrated and protecting it from sun exposure. This is the point where many people often get it wrong. If you don't know this, everything you have learned so far will be worthless. Therefore, I ask you to follow me until the end. Now I will talk about something even more crucial than removing keratosis: how to prevent it from appearing. This is the most important thing. Even if that means fewer people need medical care, which could be a disadvantage for me, your well-being is paramount, so I will share all the information with you. Throughout my 50 years caring for thousands of patients, I made a surprising discovery: those who did not have any keratosis shared a common habit: consuming certain foods regularly. Today I am going to share that discovery with you. The first food is spinach. What makes it so beneficial? Its high iron content, as well as vitamins A and C, which help prevent excessive production of melanin in the skin. In addition, it has a large amount of chlorophyll, which strengthens skin cells. Eat spinach this way, about 3 times a week, cooked briefly. Avoid boiling it too much, as it will lose its benefits. Simply place it in hot water for 30 seconds. Add a tablespoon of olive oil to improve nutrient absorption. If you add a touch of salt and sesame, you will also enhance its flavor. Grandma Carly Ming used to eat a small handful of raw spinach every day, and in just 3 months, her warts were reduced by half. Now, as part of his daily routine, he chews a few leaves every morning. He has even started teaching his neighbors how to grow spinach, as it can be grown without difficulty on a balcony. We encourage you to try it. The next food is carrot. Carrot is rich in a compound called beta-carotene. This beta-carotene is converted to vitamin A within the body, and this vitamin is very effective in preventing sunspots, also known as age spots. Beta-carotene, especially, acts as a natural sunscreen that protects the skin from damage caused by ultraviolet rays. To take advantage of its benefits, consume 1 small carrot a day. You can accompany it with a little oil, which facilitates the absorption of its nutrients by the body. Another option is to enjoy it in juice. If you add half an apple, you will not only improve the flavor, but you will also enhance its effects. A little advice: the ideal is to eat the carrot with its skin, since the most beneficial nutrients are found just under it. Wash them carefully and consume them with the skin. There are many organic carrots available these days, so you don't have to worry. My wife has been drinking carrot juice every day for 20 years, and at 75 years old she has virtually no blemishes on her skin. All her friends, who have many spots, always ask her what her secret is. She often says that she is a little embarrassed to share it, since it is something very simple. The third food is the nut. Walnuts are rich in omega-3 and vitamin E, elements that help reduce inflammation in the skin and strengthen the cell membrane. As inflammation is reduced, less melanin is also generated. In addition, walnuts are full of antioxidants, which help slow down skin aging. To consume them, it is recommended to eat between 5 and 6 nuts a day, preferably in the morning, since the body assimilates them better at that time. If eaten in excess, they can cause weight gain due to their high calorie content, so it is important to be in moderation. You can also crush them and combine them with yogurt. I personally eat 5 walnuts every morning before breakfast, accompanied by a glass of water. Mrs. Lindsay Jack incorporated walnuts into her diet regularly for 6 months, and when she visited the hospital, her sunspots had diminished so much that she no longer required treatment. At first, she was hesitant because the nuts seemed expensive, but then she reflected that, with the price of a single purchase, she could have 2 months' worth of nuts, thus considering it an economical investment. I still remember the look of satisfaction on his face. Here's a unique secret: if you incorporate a little of these 3 foods into your daily diet, you will prevent the production of melanin from inside the skin. This way, even if you are exposed to the sun, it is unlikely that spots will appear. In fact, some studies reveal that the effect is tripled if you consume carrots and nuts together. There are also other foods that help prevent stains, such as tomatoes, blueberries, salmon and green tea. However, the 3 foods I mentioned are the most powerful. Now I want to talk to you about the key aspects in the treatment of sunspots, skin hydration and sun protection. This is where many people make mistakes. If you don't understand this, everything you've learned up to this point will be worthless, so make sure you stay tuned until the end. Even if you know everything I have explained to you before, if you skip this, it will have no effect. This is the most crucial secret I have discovered throughout my 50 years as a dermatologist, keeping skin well hydrated and protecting it from the sun. It is essential, and I will say it 3 times: hydration, 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 and sun protection, sun protection, sun protection. Why is it so crucial to keep your skin hydrated? Because as we age, our skin tends to get drier. When the skin is dry, it cracks, and substances that stimulate the production of melanin can penetrate through these cracks. Therefore, if you keep your skin well hydrated, you can prevent spots from appearing. To keep your skin hydrated, follow these steps. After washing your face at night, immediately apply a moisturizer. Don't delay. Gently dry yourself using a towel and apply the cream while the skin is still slightly damp. This will help water retain in the skin, keeping it hydrated for longer. It is not necessary to resort to expensive products. A few drops of olive oil will do the trick. Place a few drops in the palm of your hand and distribute, focusing especially on the blemished areas. Apply a mask twice a week. Mix a tablespoon of honey with half of olive oil, distribute it over your face and remove it after 20 minutes. This is the advice I have offered to my patients for the past 50 years. Use moisturizer within 3 minutes of showering or washing your face. I call it the golden 3-minute moment. If more than 3 minutes pass, the skin begins to lose moisture, and when that happens, even the best product will not be completely effective. My mother always kept the cream in the bathroom and applied it immediately after washing. For this reason, despite being over 90 years old, he had practically no blemishes on his skin. Another little trick: before going to bed, place a thick layer of Vaseline on the affected areas. Since Vaseline has a sticky texture, it can leave marks on your pillow, so it's a good idea to place a towel on top. However, the results are impressive. Try it for a week and you will see the difference. Grandma Jennifer Lee applied banana masks and constant hydration for a month, and the spots she had been wearing for 20 years almost disappeared. His family asked him if he had undergone any cosmetic treatment. She continues to use a honey and Vaseline mask every night, and says that, despite being 78 years old, her skin looks like that of a 60-year-old woman. Now, let's talk about sun protection. The main enemy of stains is ultraviolet radiation. When UV rays come into contact with the skin, it generates melanin as a defense. This is how stains arise. Do this to protect yourself from the sun. The use of sunscreen is essential. Opt for one that has an SPF of 30 or higher. The appropriate amount is equivalent to the size of a 501 coin. Apply it even if the sky is overcast, as UV rays can pass through clouds. Repeat the application every 2 or 3 hours. It is essential to reapply it especially at midday, when ultraviolet radiation reaches its maximum. Also, consider wearing hats or umbrellas for extra protection. Many fall into this common mistake: they skip using sunscreen when the day is cloudy, rainy, or winter. Serious mistake. Ultraviolet rays manage to filter through clouds and glass, and remain present even during the cold. For that reason, it is essential to apply it daily, regardless of the season of the year or the type of climate. A key tip: don't forget to protect the back of your hands as well. After the face, it is one of the areas that shows the signs of aging the earliest. There are those who have an impeccable face, but their hands show the passage of time with numerous stains. Don't neglect taking care of your hands. My mother lived to be 93 years old, and no matter if it was cold, raining, or snowing, she never failed to apply sunscreen daily. Even the day he left, he barely had any sunspots. While her friends had visibly stained skin, she kept hers in excellent condition. He always repeated, "Sunscreen is not a medicine, it is like rice," implying that it should be used every day without exception. I am going to tell you another special method. If you place vitamin C between your moisturizer and sunscreen, the effect of reducing sunspots is doubled. Vitamin C helps break down melanin. Even the most affordable versions you find at the drugstore work perfectly. It is not necessary to spend on a high-priced one. In this case, the order is key. First, once you have washed your face, apply the moisturizer, then, add vitamin C. Third, put on the sunscreen. It is essential that you follow this order, since changing it significantly decreases its effectiveness. I remember a patient who had very marked sunspots. He underwent several laser procedures without seeing any visible improvements. However, after constantly adopting this hydration and sun protection system for 3 months, her spots began to fade noticeably. To this day, every time he comes to the consultation, he expresses his gratitude to me. Now I am going to share with you a special technique that not only combats sunspots, but also promotes brain well-being. It is a really amazing method. It is not only limited to skin care, but also holds a key to healthy aging. So stay until the end. This last secret goes beyond the physical appearance, it also protects mental health. It consists of doing exercises with your hands. Did you know that keeping your hands in good condition helps keep both your mind and your skin in optimal condition? Over my 5 decades practicing medicine, I came to a fascinating conclusion: people who frequently used their hands had fewer sunspots and a significantly lower chance of developing dementia. The reason? The tips of your fingers are packed with nerve endings that directly activate the brain. In fact, the yolks have a greater concentration of sensory nerves than any other area of the body, and these connect directly to the brain. One patient I saw, Mr. Kong Young Ho, 86, spent half an hour a day doing finger exercises and, surprisingly, had a memory as sharp as that of someone much younger. Medical evaluations indicated that his brain had characteristics typical of a 60-year-old person, something truly astonishing from a clinical point of view. And even more shocking, he barely showed any spots on his skin caused by the sun. These finger movements promote blood circulation, which also has a positive impact on the appearance of the skin. Try this simple exercise: join your thumb with each of your other fingers, one at a time. Start by touching the index finger, then the middle finger, continue with the ring finger and finish with the little finger. Do it slowly at first and gradually increase the pace. Repeat the sequence 10 times. Then rub your palms together until they feel warm. Then place them on your face. This gesture stimulates circulation in the facial skin and provides a brighter appearance. If you apply light pressure to the stained areas, the effect is even more noticeable. Finally, join your fingers together, intertwining them as if you were closing a lock, and make wide circular movements with your wrists, first in a clockwise direction 10 times, and then counterclockwise another 10 times. This movement also promotes blood flow in the wrists and arms. Spend 5 minutes in the morning and 5 at night on these hand routines. You can practice them while watching television, before meals, or just before going to bed. The essential thing is to incorporate them as a daily habit. An extra tip: after doing the exercises, rinse your hands with warm water and apply a moisturizer. This can help fade spots on the backs of your hands, which tend to receive a lot of sun exposure. If you also apply sunscreen after exercise, the results will be even more effective. One of my patients, Mr. Clark Cheng, followed this regimen for 3 months and the spots on the back of his hands were significantly reduced. Likewise, his ability to remember improved significantly, to the point that he no longer forgot the time to take his medicines. Now, the first thing he does at the start of the day is do hand exercises. An additional benefit of these practices is that they also help prevent arthritis in the fingers. As we age, it's common for fingers to become stiffer and more painful, right? If you do this exercise regularly, you will notice that your joints become more agile and the pain decreases. My mother also practiced it, and was able to continue sewing on her own until she was 90 years old. An interesting fact is that frequent finger movement benefits our mental capacity. This happens because moving your fingers directly stimulates the brain. Therefore, if we acquire the habit of using our hands frequently from a young age, in the future it will be of great help to avoid memory problems. I start each day doing this hand exercise. Now that I am 75 years old, my memory is still excellent and I hardly have any warts on my hands. My fellow doctors often ask me what my secret is, and the answer is this hand exercise. Now, to conclude, I will give you a summary of the methods that I have shared with you. First, treat hand warts with a lemon and honey mask, a green bean mask and banana peel. Secondly, include spinach, carrots and nuts in your diet frequently. Third, make sure to maintain adequate hydration and protect them from sun exposure. Fourth, promote brain health by doing hand exercises. If you remember these 4 recommendations and apply them consistently, you will notice an improvement in your warts in just 1 month. In addition, you will enjoy a much fuller and more active old age. Dear friends, today I want to share with you everything I have learned over 50 years. This is knowledge that I don't even mention in the hospital, since it is so simple that it does not require medical intervention. However, I decided to share them today because I consider your well-being to be the most important thing. In the next video, I will teach you an excellent method to relieve joint pain. It is a very effective technique to treat pain in the knees and back. I will transmit to you all my knowledge accumulated over 50 years in the medical field, with the aim that you can enjoy a full and healthy old age. Thank you so much.